everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Missy and I write the blog ramblingrosefarmhouse.com, and I'm really happy to have you here today. This video is part of a 12 days of Christmas DIYs that I am doing with Rachel from this lovely little farmhouse. So be sure and go over to her channel and check out the DIYs that she's doing, because she's doing 6 and I'm doing 6, so together there's going to be 12 total. So don't forget to go and check hers out. And also we are doing a drawing at the end of the 12 days. So if you want your name to be in for the drawing, all you have to do is share this video on your social media and then comment on the video and tell me where you shared it, and that will put your name in the drawing one time for every share that you do. So we really appreciate you watching our videos, and we appreciate you sharing them. It just really helps us a lot to get more people knowing about the videos that we're making. So I am really excited about the DIY that I'm doing for you today. It is amazingly quick and easy, and you end up with a really, really nice product. So what I'm doing is a beeswax candle, and it's a rolled beeswax candle. These things smell amazing. And after I started doing some research, just actually when I was looking for my supplies and everything, I found out how I knew beeswax candles were not toxic, that they were good, but I didn't realize that they actually helped your air quality in your house when you burned them. They give off negative ions, and so they help clean the air. They remove odors, they remove dust, they remove all kind of things from the air. So they actually help you instead of hurt you like most candles do. So that's pretty exciting to me. I'm really happy about finding that out. These candles, like I said, they are super easy to make. I did have some issues when I started looking for my supplies, because I read a lot of reviews on different products, and so many of them said that the wax was not 100% pure beeswax, which, I mean, the whole point of it is to be using 100% beeswax and not any fillers, other types of waxes, chemicals and things like that. So I spent a lot of time looking for supplies, and I finally found a kit that I thought was going to be, what I wanted. And so I ordered it, and I have to say that I'm very, very, very pleased with it. It is, the sheets are 100% wax. You can tell, you can smell it. It smells like beeswax. We have bees, so I know what it should smell like, and it does. It smells exactly like, and it is exactly the product that would be in the beehive for the bees to build their little cells and store their honey in. And so that's what this is. So it's sheets like this, and like I said, these are the company is all made in the USA, and it is 100% beeswax. Now I did call the lady and I talked to her on the phone because I had some questions and things I wanted to ask her. And one thing is, if you want your wax to have the beeswax smell, then you need to buy the natural. Like, this company has sheets in all different colors, and so the colored ones do have candle coloring in them, so they're not just 100% wax. And then there are some lighter kind of yellowish ones, or forgot what she called it. But anyway, they don't have color in them, but they're more refined. So they're more filtered than this is. And so they don't have the beeswax smell. So be sure, if you are wanting to order a kit, you're wanting to order the sheets that actually smell like beeswax, which I love the smell of beeswax. So that's what I wanted. Be sure and order the natural. So I will leave a link for this in the description for you, so that you can find one that is good. And so the kit came with the sheets and with the wick. And another question that I asked the lady was about the wick. If you research candles and making candles online, you'll find all kinds of information, but it's not always consistent. Like one person will tell you one thing, another person will tell you another. So I just called and asked the lady that this lady's in business. She makes candles. I think she's been in business for 13 years, so I figured she knew what she was talking about. But one of the things I read was that the wick has like a top and a bottom, and that you have to have it face in a certain direction. She told me this wick does not. This is a square cotton braided wick, and it doesn't have like a top or bottom, so it can go either way. She also gave me a little tip to use when you're rolling your candle, which I'll show you when I'm doing that. But she did say that there are directional wicks, but this is not the kind of wick that you use for the rolled candles. Doesn't have a direction, so it can go either way, so you don't have to worry about that. So the only other thing I think that you'll need, I'm using a pizza cutter to cut my wax sheets today, and I have some scissors. I have a piece of parchment paper that I put down on my table so that I don't get wax on my table, and a ruler to measure it with. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you just how quick and easy this is to do. Okay, so to cut my wax sheet in half, I'm going to use my trusty sewing ruler. I use these things for everything because they're so easy. So my wax sheet is 6.5 inches long, so I'm going to cut it 8 1/4. So I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to cut it 8 1/4. I'm just going to take my scissors and do a little snip where I want to cut it on this side, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. Let me get this to lay flat. I'm going to go to 8 1/4. I'm going to give it a little snip on that side. And you probably can cut straight through this with your scissors. I haven't ever done that. I am going to use my pizza cutter. So I'm going to lay my ruler across it from one of my snips to the other snip, and I'm just going to use my pizza cutter kind of the way you would use a rotary cutter if you were cutting fabric. And I don't think it'll hurt my table. You could have a cutting board underneath here if you wanted to, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut through the wax. Let's see if it cuts away. Okay, so there it goes. And that is a super simple way to cut your wax. And so now we have two pieces that are 8 1/4 inches long, and let's see, 8 inches high, 8 1/4 inches long. So this is what we're going to use to roll our candle. Okay, so I've got my half a sheet of wax that I cut, and I'm going to start over here on the edge that I cut, since it's not perfectly straight, and that way the straight edge will be the end of the candle. It probably won't matter, because once you get it rolled up and you kind of seal this edge in, you can't really see it anyway, but that's just what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of wick. So I've got my long strand of wick here. I'm going to lay it down and cut it a 1/2 inch longer than my piece of wax on both sides. And by doing that, I'm going to leave myself the ability to use either side of the rolled up candle as the top. So after I get it all rolled up, I can just look at the two ends, see which one I like better, and choose to use that one as the top if I have a wick on both sides. And I'll just cut the wick that would have been on the bottom off. But that might be a little bit better than cutting one and deciding what the side's going to be before you roll it up, and you're not really quite sure, you know, how it's going to look. So I'm going to move this out of the way and go ahead and take my hairdryer and just warm the wax up a little bit. Now you want to pay attention to what you're doing, feel it, see if it's starting to get a little soft, because you don't want to warm it up too much. You definitely don't want to melt it. So you're just trying to get it a little bit warm so that it'll just be a little bit easier to roll. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get started. So, you know, the things that I'm showing you are just the things that I figured out that work for me. So I'm gonna lay my wick right on the top of this edge of the wax. I'm just gonna press it down into the wax a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just enough to kind of hold it in place. And then I'm gonna take this little edge of the wax, and this is easy to do because I warmed it up. I'm gonna take this little edge and just turn it right over the wick to get my wick secured inside the wax. That way it won't be moving around when I'm rolling my candle. Now, the key to rolling your candle is to try to keep it as tight as possible. The tighter it is, the longer it'll burn, and the looser it is, the quicker it'll burn. So we want to try to keep it tight and even. And as you're going, if you see that you're getting uneven, you can roll it backwards and then straighten it back out. But hopefully we won't have to do that. So we'll see. So we're just going to start rolling. Don't get in a hurry with it, like I said, and just try to keep it tight as you roll. Tight and even is the key. This wax really smells good when you start heating it up with that hair dryer. And I can look at it and I can see whether it looks like I'm getting it tight or not, which it does look pretty tight. This is such an easy thing that, you know, kids could do it. It's just a really good project. See, it looks like I'm a little looser at the top, so I'm gonna unroll it, and I'm gonna try to get it straightened out. And you can kind of tell, you can just kind of look at your two edges and see if they look about the same. Right, and there it is. So now we have the seam to close up, and you can just do it, you know, just like this if you want to. I'm gonna warm my seam up a little bit and kind of just tuck it in a little bit better. Like you can see the difference in these two. That's what I did with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and warm this one up with the dryer just a tiny bit. I'm just gonna push it down right along that edge. Okay, so now when I look at my two ends, I don't know if you can see this very well, This end is sunk in a little bit. This one is a little rounded. So I think I might go with this one to be my top edge, just because I don't know, just gonna kind of experiment. This one is a little bit more rounded. This one is a little bit in. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my wick off on this side. And so there it is. So I have a pair of beeswax candles. It's that quick and that easy and just that fun to do. So after you have your candles made, you want to, before you burn it, you want to cut your wick to like 1/4 of an inch high. And as your candle burns down, you want to keep your wick only 1/4 of an inch. That helps it burn better. And also and these are tips that the lady told me when I talked to her on the phone. Another thing was the proper way to put your candle out is to, there's a special tool for it, but you take something and you dip the end of your wick down into the wax instead of blowing it out, and then you just pull it back up straight. I didn't know that. I don't know if that's only for beeswax candles or all candles. And then of course, you know, the usual things, don't ever leave your candles burning unattended, keep them away from children, you know, all those things like that. But okay, well, I hope that you liked this video today and that you're excited about making some candles. I want to make like all the candles now because I love the way the beeswax smells, and I'm just really excited about having clean burning candles that will actually make my air quality better and not worse, and not be harmful and toxic to my family. So I think you'll see a lot more candle stuff from me in the future. Because I am really excited about this and maybe a little bit addicted to it. So we'll see. But thank you for being here today. If you liked this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and you can leave a comment down there in the comments for me. And be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you back here in a couple of days with another DIY Christmas idea gift video. And be sure to